دوستان عزیزم سلام عرض میکنم. بسیار تکنیکی داشتیم، دوباره باید شروع میکردیم. شما امروز برنامه ما از طریق تلویزیون زرین و سایت های خود ما میشنوین. من امروز یک اینترویو دارم، یک مصاحبه دارم با دو خانم در امریکا. دو خانمی که بسیار وقت خود مصرف میکنن که افغانای ما را چی در افغانستان در کشورهای دیگه که فرار کردن کمک میکنن. شب و روز وقت در اینجا پیسه است، یعنی پیسه خودم میتن، وقت خودم میتن، وقت فامیلی خودم، نان خودم میتن که در اون ممالک که شما در حراس هستین که کشته نشین. اینا در این فکر است که چطور از اونجا با ممالک دیگه و از اونجا یا در امریکا در یک مملکت اروپایی یاد بدن. البته منظور ما است که شما این افراد را تشکری کنین سپاکی دیگه، ای که همیشه گیرنده نباشیم بلکه دهنده باشیم، سخاوتمند باشیم که شما اینا را تشکری کنین و تا اگر بتانین کمک بکنین چی پولی چی کسایی که در این مملکت آمده اونا را میتونین که شما باید و بگوین که من این نفر بر سودا خریدن میبرم، ما برای شخصی پیدا میکنم و عزیزی یعنی که یک دست کمک باشه. این دو خانم جنیفر سروانتی است، یکی کلی براون. ما I would like to welcome Kelly Brown and Jennifer Cervantes. My purpose today, the first thing that I want to do, or the first reason that I'm doing, is to thank both of you, to appreciate both of you for your time, for your kind heart, for your generosity, to try to rescue Afghans that they are in danger of being killed, their children, and working hard to rescue them. And second purpose for this show is to see if I can find some Afghans to help both of you, either with money, donating money, either with helping the Afghans, the ones that they are already in America, because Kelly said that she even takes some Afghans to do shopping and things like that. So maybe you volunteer by to their website, going by their website, and at the same time, my email address to be in here. Some of you can email us because I don't want like 5,000, 10,000 people to email Jennifer and Kelly. Many of you may be right in Derry and they don't understand. Email us. I will assign a few people to go through. If there are people that they are really in need, then we transfer those or forward it to Jennifer and Kelly. Jennifer, Kelly,
yes.
Both of you. If you want to say hello to people before we start.
First, thank you very much for doing this for us and as involved and supportive as you have been. And thank you to everyone that's taking the time to watch and interact. We greatly appreciate that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer, go ahead, tell us, what are you doing? Are you an attorney? What are you doing? How long you're doing and how you're helping at the moment?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having me. We really appreciate the opportunity. It has been a long few months for us, but yes, I am a U.S. immigrant and a human rights activist. And so since the beginning of August, we were working on some cases in Afghanistan and sort of just switched to dealing a lot, like in the hundreds of humanitarian parole application, sort of just fell in love with the people that we were working with, both the Afghan community here and also the Afghan community talking to, via WhatsApp and Signal. And so we started looking for different options for them. So we have been working on keeping people alive, and Kelly especially works with making sure that they have food and they have heat. And then we're working on also trying to find places to resettle them into different countries where they could dignified new beginning, whether that's the United States or whether that's a different country. So we've been kind of working on all and just trying to find as many options as we can for the Afghan people.
Thank you. I'm going to translate a little bit of it so they can understand if somebody doesn't speak English. خانم جنیفر میگه که ما در 3.5 ماه یا 4 ماهی که شده از ماه آگوست حالا یا زیادتر از اون شب و روز کار میکنیم که یک تعداد افغانایی را که در حالت خراب هستن کمکشان کنیم. کسایی است که به فود باید نان ضرورت دارن برشان برد کنیم. کسایی از اون جای باید نجات بیافند در یک منطقه دیگه، در یک جای دیگه و در یک مملکت دیگه انتقال. ضرور نیست که اینا حتمی شما را در امریکا بیارن، اما اینا کوشش میکنن که در اونمو مملکتی که هستی که در خطر هستی حداقل از اوجا بیرون بکشن. یک مملکتی که تو بتانی یک شروع نو داشته باشی، یک جایی که چانس برای ساختن یک آشیانه و یک چانس برای یک آغاز داشته باشی. یعنی اتنیست که اینا کل شما را در امریکا و ضرور هم نیست که کل شما را بتانن بیارن. یه ترکایی نیست که نفهمین. Kelly, anything that you want to add?
I think that for me, this has been a journey. I got involved to help my friends interpret, and as Jennifer said, it kind of snowballed. And I have been connected with some of the most beautiful people I've ever met. We have been able to share the birth of babies, the intimacy and relationship with these families when we're involved on this level is amazing. The joy, successes, and the people that we're actually getting to watch start their new lives and journey is amazing. It is heartbreaking every day to hear and have reach out from people that are stuck, who have served and done so much good. But it definitely, it's an honor to be in this position. And I'm grateful for, they say it takes a village, and we work as a team, but there are so many people yourself who are part of that team and making it happen. As I was to you earlier, I just had a family come into the US about 10 days ago, and a picture from the airport makes the last 6 months, even if it was that one family, worth it. I have children in Afghanistan that call me grandma. I have brothers and sisters. I'm mom to several. Efforts just, it has to continue.
I thank you so much. It was funny when you said that you helped one guy from Afghanistan to come, and then came a snowball.
Yes. Friend's interpreter was trapped, and I had actually been working with him. My friend passed away 4 years ago. And so I started working with his interpreter when he passed. And then, like so many others, he had gotten his visa approved August 27th. So I was with him at the gates of HKIA, trying to get him there. And when local families heard that I was involved, they came to me with their families, and it just it went from there. And he is here. He's safe. He's happy. He's making way.
Thank you. You better be. کل میگه که ما یک نفر که ترجمه بود برای رفیقم که در افغانستان کار میکرد که به اشاره 4 سال پیش یک صاحب منصب یا عسکر از ارتش امریکا بود که 4 سال پیش فوت شده. او امو ترجمان از او را ما اولین نفر را که نجات دادم ترجمانش بود. وقتی که او را نجات دادم با یک برف تبدیل شده. We use the word برف کوچ as the snowball. اوجات صاحب ما هنوز هستیم؟ اوجات صاحب ما هستیم هنوز؟ میگن ما او را نجات دادیم و این برف کوچ تبدیل شد، یعنی که هزاران نفر نیازمند تماس گرفت که ما باید انتقال پیدا کنیم، ما باید نجات. از اون وقت بابا دیگه شب و روز ما نداریم و جنیفر که یک وکیل امیگریشن است و در همین قسمت مجانی کار میکنه، یعنی بسیاری ها همون ورقایشان تنها از اون ورقا مردم $300-400 میگیره که پر کنه، پیسه های دیگه است. این مجانی همون کار برای مردم، برای هزارها نفر تا حالا کرده، زیاد رام انتقال دادن در امریکا. در این روزا یک کم مشکل تر شده، اما نظام اینا کار که در ممالک دیگه اگر در امریکا نشه انتقال بدن. Jennifer, what do you think about the Afghan women's situation in Afghanistan? I'm sure you're getting a lot of calls. What's your, opinion about their situation?
You know, I originally joined this being angry that the U.S. had left our allies in there, and I thought our allies were just the soldiers and the people that sort of themselves with the U.S. government. And through this process, I have realized that our allies are all of the people that believed in equal rights for women and children. And to be honest, I was trying to run away from getting involved in the issues. I think because it's like I have 2 daughters myself, and it was a little bit too near and dear to my heart. But I am devastated, honestly, to see what's happening with women in Afghanistan. And a few months ago, I got to video call with one of the families that we're working with, and I watched a little girl cry and say she couldn't go anymore, and it could have been my daughter. And it's really hard to know what to do, and it's disappointing to see where everything has happened. But I don't think that Afghanistan is done, and I think that the women of Afghanistan are going to play a huge role in its future, even if it doesn't look like that right now. And we are going to do the very best we can, along with so many other people, to empower them and equip them with all the tools they need to stand up and fight, because their voices will not be silenced by anybody.
Thank you. And what is your opinion at this situation about Afghanistan, about, Americans that they went there? I have thousands of people from Afghanistan that they are in need. And I understand, really, we are not able to bring everybody in here. We, at one time, 150,000 people in the military. For the last 20 years, we trained 700,000-800,000 people. We are not able to rescue everybody, and we don't have the capacity. But there are people that they are in this need. And I know personally people that they are hiding at this moment. I talked about a group of the people in one of my shows that probably you are working on their case. So
They're a wonderful family.
Yeah, the guy had a baby just 2 weeks ago in hiding in a basement, cold, without enough food. It is really tough situation. They worked 20 years for American military. They say they should rescue us. We were working harder than American military personnel in here. So how can we? Do you think they have the right to say that or ask such a thing?
It's been heartbreaking, again, having that relationship with the families that I do, watching them from absolutely believing that the U.S. government was going to swoop in and save them all because they were their brothers, because that's what they felt like. And then watching them go through the process and realizing that that wasn't going to happen in fashion. And then now realizing that it's not going to happen at all. I'm horribly disappointed in the choices that were made and how it was handled. I have talked to the family that you're talking to. It blows my mind that when I speak to him messages, he first apologizes for taking my time. Know their situation and the consideration and the thoughtfulness and the it's hard to watch. I think that we made promises, and there should be an obligation to fulfill those promises. I think that leaving the way that we did without allowing anybody any time to prepare for financial hardship, for emotional devastation, for the trauma that they're all experiencing, was negligent at best.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, a lot of people, they should be rescued, and they are hiding there. I know that some, even at this moment, they are rescuing some people, especially from Mazar Sharif, but not from Kabul. Hopefully, at least some of them should be rescued, if not to America, to somewhere else to be rescued. I'm going to ask to put our phone number.
And I think you bring up the point of to be rescued somewhere. I think that's why efforts were made to start looking and negotiating with other countries to try and make sure that we give them options, but also making sure there are a lot of rescue brought people places without an end destination, without support. And that's also not fair treatment of our friends and allies, or my families, as I call them. So making sure that we talked to countries and looked at creating a situation where they could actually have a quality and fulfilling and dignified life with the support that's going to be required to learn a whole new world after being 6 months with significant trauma.
I love the terms that you were using, Kelly, when I talked with you. You said, I have my family's coming, and you said my children. The terms that you used, I thought that you really have families in Afghanistan. And
I do. I just didn't give birth to them.
They're blood families. I mean, even me as Afghan, I'm not using those terms. I say some Afghans, some needy Afghans, but the way با یک شکل کلی او روز گپ میزد که او فامیل از افغانستان میاد، یک فامیل ما آمده ولی دو سه اولاد ما آمد. اینا ای بسیار جالب بود که امی اصطلاحات را که استفاده میکرد. ما گفتم خیراستی کلی یک فامیل در افغانستان، یا دخترش است یا بچهش یا برادرش، اما متوجه شدم که هر فامیل را که اینا رسکیو میکنن برای از او فامیل خود میگن. و وقتی که می خانم که دیگه زندگی خوب داره، در دکان میبره او را برای شاپینگ، برای یاد میته، برای بسیاری چیزا را یاد میته. Kelly, the other day in my show, we talked about the subject that some young Afghan boys, when they come in here, that committed sexual harassment a few days ago or a couple of weeks ago. Then I told my followers that we need to tell Americans, Europeans, that when they come from a country like Afghanistan, in Afghanistan, women and men are separated. They don't talk, they don't laugh. So if a girl smiles at an Afghan boy that just came from Afghanistan, they think that she likes me, she wants me. And I told them that, no, it is not like that. This is a culture. In here, a woman can give you a hug, can give you a kiss, can handshake, can come for a lunch in your room. Doesn't mean any sexual. In Afghanistan, a woman will never come in room. But if it comes, people say, well, you went. That was the reason. But in here, it is. So when we have people in here, where I live in Seattle, 2 kids were killed by a car accident because they were crossing the road. The speed in Afghanistan is very different, slow, but in here, 60, 55 miles, they couldn't imagine that how fast they were coming. I mean, these are the little things that they should be educated. They should be given classes that how this society is working, how you go shopping, how you find jobs, how you work with people, how you associate with your neighbors, with your classmates. What is this?
And I think those classes should be hosted, preferably by perhaps an Afghan that's been here for a while, because you have the benefit of, and I'm you, but I'm using it as a general term. That person would have the benefit of both cultures.
Yeah.
And be best able to advise. I have a young man who came alone. He's 21 years old, and I have had lengthy conversations with him about cultural difference and expectations and not putting himself in a situation things could be perceived incorrectly. But I'm an American woman talking to a young Afghan man, and it's different. My family that just landed on the West Coast got lost the other day going for a walk. And instead of a 2-mile walk with their children, it was a 5.5-mile walk, which luckily they walk a lot at home, or they did prior to being captive for that amount of time. But it could have been a bad situation.
That's true. I talked in my live show last Saturday, and I'm going to talk more. I'm going to make about how you go for shopping, how to do associations, how to talk to people, how to find jobs, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to ask all Afghans just to do that with all the new Afghans. Kelly, there in my screen, for me, it doesn't show, but they send me, there is the information about the website, your website, or genocide Shapiro. I want you guys to go in that website. In the first page, there is a button, donation button. Please donate to people like them. Help them. I mean, we can always say, oh, we are needy Afghans. We are not. There are hundreds of thousands of Afghans in America. They have best jobs. They have best income. So donate. The other thing, do go there, send your information and say, hey, I volunteer. If you need me to take care of a family, if you want me to give them a house, if you want me to take them shopping, if you want me to teach them this, I'm going to do this. If you want me to teach them how to drive a car, then go volunteer. I put my email, shafie@hotmail.com there. The purpose I put my email is to send me your information if you're in need. And if you want to volunteer, send it to me. I can transfer. Or if you're someone in need in Afghanistan, Pakistan, somewhere else, it's not that they can bring 1 million people. If you are in severe need, your life is in danger, immediate danger, then you can send me an email. I assign a couple people to go through all those emails. And if there are people that we need to, then I'm going to send your information to Kelly. They decide to see if they can help you. I'm not sure, but please volunteer. Please donate. We are established community now in America. There are people that they can new, but I have been in here for 33 years. We're at least African community in America is 30 to 35 years since the Soviet war. So we are established community in here. If they care so much about your brother, about your people, that they spend so much of their time, I'm going to ask, see what kind of families they have. I think Jennifer has $2 when we were talking a few minutes ago. I mean, they need that time for themselves, but they use most of that to rescue us. I mean, a lot of people, we don't even agree with the culture of with the way people live and this and that, which is a great culture, a great place to live. But it is difference of opinion. We judge them. They don't even judge us. They volunteer. They don't care about what is our religion belief, what language we talk. Do we love them or hate them? But they just here without asking, without judging. Please learn that. Go to their website. Do something. If you can help with money, donate money there. That money is going to go to Afghans in here or someone else to feed them or pay for their expenses to be brought in here. If you want to volunteer to be to help to be brought to America, to sponsor a family, do that. Maybe it helped Jennifer and Kelly to bring a family sooner. Yeah, I volunteer. I pay for the cost of the ticket and 6 months of their expense when they come. So you sponsor that. You maybe rescue a family. Please, let's give. We always used to get since the war started in Afghanistan, but a lot of us were not in that position. We're in that bad situation to get it. So we start to give, just like them. So please go to their website. Through there, you can connect it with them. You can email me. I'm going to get some lines. Sorry, keep calling. I was not answering. Now I'm going to get a couple phones from you guys. If you have questions, if you have a comment or anything, so you guys can call. I cannot see it. Usually we go through a different system. Today the screen that I see, I don't remember, but they text me a number, and also you can go Zareen TV. You can watch us. You can go to my YouTube, Facebook, and ولی بفرمایید.
سلام آقای ayar.
شما دوست عزیزم خوب هستین؟ فضل خدا.
ممنون شما. من اول داشتم به خاطر از اینکه من فعلا از تورنتو شما را در تقریبا 6 ماه اخیر میشه که من از تورنتو کسایی که آمدیم.
خب از کجا؟ از افغانستان؟ بسیار خوب.
تقریبا یک روز دو روز پیش بود ما همراه کاناداییان در یک پروژه کوچک کار می‌کردیم.
بسیار خوب.
اومدیم کانادا. شما پرسان باید خاطر میکردم که من چه میتونم که اونجا همکارای نتونستن که تانوز کرن با تم همکاری بکنم که ما پروژه همیشه ایار کار کردیم با او.
خب اسم شما؟
بسیار.
خب Basir has a question.
Yes, I want to tell that question in English if possible. My English is very well.
No,
I'm sure I
just let me explain what you said. You can listen to us. I'm gonna just explain it. Basir was working with Canadian government. He was rescued just a couple days before Taliban came. He transferred somewhere, and then right now he's in Canada. He has a question. His friends were working with Americans. So he tells me, what can I do to help them brought or to be rescued? What can he do? Is there anything you can do?
It's very case by case on how that would be handled, assessed, because there are different pathways. Mm-hmm. If he's financially able to make sure that they have a roof on their heads and fed, that's a start, because we can't do anything if they're not surviving.
Yeah.
But if they're SIV candidates, if they worked with the U.S., then making sure they have the correct documents. Some people that have a hard time because they no longer have contact with their supervisors. Sometimes that can be tracked down. I have some sources for that. I can't do thousands, but I can certainly find some if that's an issue that's holding up an SIV case. But again, it really depends on if they qualify for SIV, if it's somebody here and a family member. Right now, passports are huge. You can't bring anybody to the United States through the department without a passport.
So they should, a few things. First, they have to be somewhere safe.
Mm-hmm.
They have food, so you just want them to be safe there first. Have a roof on their top. یعنی اینا شما در جای باشین که نانو دارین، در جایی که مسئولیت دارین که بتانه کنین و هر کدام کیس شما فرق میکنن نظر به ایست که کی بودی چی کردی. اگر شما باید کوشش کنین که پاسپورت حتمی داشته باشین که بدون پاسپورت ما نمیتونیم که شما رو دیگه. دوستا ما در افغانستان داشتم که برام گفتن که نه آقا ایار از طریق تذکره الکترونیکی میتونن، مگر نه اینا پاسپورت شما میتونین پاسپورت افغانستان بگیرین، یک پیسه میتین رشوت که میکنین و پاسپورت بگیرین. کسایی که سوپروایزر و منیجر شما بوده اونجا کانتکت انفورمیشنشان رو پیدا کنین که در کجا است چی است. اگر که کار کنین یگان وقت اینا میتونن، اما همیشه این کار نمیتونن. سو اینی چیزای ضروری است که آدرس داشته باشین، در جایی که مسئول باشین که یک نان او داشته باشین که خدا نکردگی نموره. بعد از اون دیگه یک پاسپورت داشته باشین و معلوماتای ضروری را که کی بودین چی بودین، نفرایی را که میشناسین کیست که بزیناش برای شما و توصیه اینی چیزا و ای که شما چطور کمک میتونین. ما پیشتر گفتم بسیر که شما میتونین you guys can Basir asked what you to help. Maybe Basir is not capable for that, but thousands of Afghans living in America and Canada, they are able. You can sponsor people. You can pay for the expenses. Yeah, go ahead, Jennifer.
So just if I may add just something. So I think Kelly mentioned like the concept of getting passports is like so important, and it's very difficult to get them right now. But another thing to remember is that immigrants across the entire world is not done yet. So it's not functioning completely in Afghanistan, and it won't for some time while their embassies are all closed. But I mean, if they have cases that are U.S. cases or Canadian cases, if the embassies are closed, then they need help getting outside of Afghanistan into other countries. So that could be Pakistan. If they can legally get into Pakistan, then they can process their cases there. But I agree with Kelly. It's kind of like a case by cases. So it may be something that you might want to talk to an attorney or an SIV expert or a resettlement agency on how to set it. There are plenty of people that didn't file cases, parents, for example, but they're now eligible and they're filing for their parents. And that's the one thing that the U.S. government is doing right now is they're getting those types of cases, but they can't finish the case in Afghanistan. So they need help getting out of Afghanistan. It doesn't have to be here to continue to process their case. It just needs to be somewhere where we have a U.S. embassy or a Canadian or whatever country that they're trying to go to. But they really can't get to that without a passport. So that's really like if we could give any, I think, major advice, like we have that conversation 50 to 100 times a day about passports and the need for that. And the other thing is the importance of having a passport is also to prevent any type of thing. People are way more at risk for trafficking and don't have a passport. So I think that's something that practically you can help with. Everybody can help with because it's costing a lot of passports right now. So enabling them, I mean, if people are starving, they're enabling them to have some buy a passport is such a huge gift to them.
Thank you. So
anyway, it's off topic, but the other thing is watching methods of communication, especially in the higher risk. If your family member or friends are super high risk, I do my family's on the phone. I through an app, And if there's an emergency, we have a system worked out, but Facebook is not secure. It's not safe. Even having a locked profile is not. Having a landline phone call for someone who's truly high risk is not safe. So taking steps to make sure that the action and support that you're giving them is safe communication so that you don't put them at risk.
اوکی. کلی میگه که ما از طریق فیسبوک، تلفن و تلفن دستی، لندلاین یعنی تلفن خانگی کوشش کنین که چیزای مختلفانه با یکی دیگه شریک نکنین به خاطر از اینکه او نفرها را در خطر مندازه. دیگه ای که شما کنین که از افغانستان براین اما پاسپورت کوشش کنین که بگیرین. اگر در اوجا هم نمید پاکستان قاچاقی هم میتونین، باز از اوجا میتونین که پاسپورت بگیرین. اما چیزایی هسته که اینا میتونن تا حدود کمک کنن اما زیاد نه. اگر میتونین اون چیزایی که باید خودتان انجام. What is this by SIB?
So an SIV immigrant visa, so those are people that served the U.S. government or one of the nonprofit agencies like NATO that served that work in the United States government. So that's just one type of visa that Afghans are eligible for. There are some requirements as to how to get that. It's a long process though, and like unfortunately it's kind of the process that everyone's talking about, but on average an SIV case took about 800 days to adjudicate pre-August 2021. So it's something that I think while we should still put hope into it, and there's a bit of lobbying efforts and people like us trying to push for faster timelines, there's also quotas on the number of these that can be granted every year. So, you know, there's other visas that might even be better, and that's being explored by some groups. But, you know, there are like family-based immigration is still a great way to people, and it's a much faster way to bring people from Afghanistan. And that's true of the United States and Canada. In fact, Canada has some even more liberal about families and how you can bring them in. But yeah, the SIVs are the people that work directly with the U.S. or with like affiliates while they were in Afghanistan.
So this is SIV like Victor or B?
Special immigration visa.
Special immigration visa. خانم جانفر میگه که ویزاهای مختلف وجود داره. یکی از ویزاهایی را که عمله برای افغان‌ها میتونه که کار کنه اینمی اسپیشل امیگریشن است که در حالتهای خاص ایره برای یک مردم میگن که ما اینی ویزا را میتیم. مثلا چون که عسکر امریکا بود میبرای از اوجه اینا امی اسپیشل ویزا را برای خاص جور کردن که این نفرها در اینی حالت اینی ویزا را برشان بتین. اما در این زمان شما مادر پدرتان مثلا میتونین حالا امریکا اجازه میده کسایی که اومد مادر پدر خود بخواین. اما تا کیسای فامیلی اینا ویزاهای مختلف در این قسمت موجود. اما برای افغان‌ها امیال اکثرشان که تا به حال آمد در این از مال SIV visa. Okay. So anything else that of course the line is open now, you can call and I'm going to answer. Anything else that you want the Afghans to know at this moment, help them to rescue themselves and contact you guys, anything.
I think can you hear us right now?
Yeah.
Okay, because our screen's frozen. Okay. I think one, like the thing that we would like to leave everybody with first is that our goal in this, I think, was to make sure that the Afghan community, both here and throughout the world, knows that they're not forgotten by the American people and that the U.S. government does not speak for the American people on what has and there are a lot of American people that really love and cherish the Afghans and don't agree with the decisions that were made by the government. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is in terms of profit, Sparrow Worldwide, which Sparrow stands for hope. And we provide, we've been established 501c3 for about 7 or 8 years, and we Our goal has always been to provide like physical aid and relief to people throughout the world that needed care. But we are 100% volunteer board, and so there's no paid positions. We personally cover the overhead. So literally, if you donate, every single penny right now is going directly to Afghanistan or the families that we're trying to move. So it's not going, you're not paying us or anything like that. We're volunteers in this. And so, that you can trust that money going directly to keep people fed, keep them with heat, help
Passport, medical expenses,
surgeries,
multiple illnesses. We've managed. The network has been amazing. And the way to get food delivered to people who can't get out, to get funds transferred to people that need the actual funds, and then medical care and advice.
So all of that, like any money you do, if you are willing to give, will go directly to help the people of Afghanistan, and then help to try to relocate them to safe places. And our goal has been to not just relocate them and drop them refugees, but we're working with countries that hopefully will take them, and I'm working on the immigration side of it to make sure that they are brought to countries where they can have visas, they can have a legal status, not just be refugees in that country, but that they can live in a dignified manner to restart their lives with all kinds of.
Thank you. Jennifer میگه اولی که شما میخوایم بفهمین که آمریکا شما را فراموش نکرده، مردم آمریکا شما را فراموش نکرده، ما کوشش داریم که چقدر میتونیم نجات بدیم. دوم دیگه 7 سال است که اینا همی ارگانایزیشنشون سپیر دارن و این چیزی که بسیار مهم دیجا گفته که این نان پرافیت ارگانایزیشن و دیگه گفت اوورهد نداره، یعنی به این معنا که امو پیسه که شما در اوجه میتین از او در جیب کس نمیگیره، کل نفرها والنتیر و طلبانه در اوجه کار میکنن. مانای مایده دیگه است که پیسه میگیرن، باز یک قسمتش در جیب خود میکنن، باز یک تکه اوجه میرن چیزا، اینا اینی کار را نمیکنن. تمام پیسه که جمع میشه امو بدون از اینکه کدام قسمتش خود از اینا بگیره یا با نفر ماش بده یا سججان واره 90% شده جیب خود بزنه 10% بده، کل او پیسه برای اقصد میره که برای یک نفر پاسپورت میگیرن، برای یک نفر نان میتن، برای یک نفر دیگه تکت میخرن، برای یک نفر دیگه که ایجا آوردن کمک میکنن، یعنی بسیار کمک میکنن. و همون پیسه که شما کمک این دینمی را میره. شما در میجا وبسایت از اینا را دارید، لطفاً در می وبسایت برین، کمک اقتصادی که میتونین بکنین. در اونجا میتونین نوت کنین که ما در اینی ولایت زندگی میکنم، اگر یک فامیل شما در اینجا دارین که من او را کمک کنم، ما برش خانه پیدا میتونم، ما برش اینی کار میتونم، اینی کار که شما تماس بگیرن. چرا که اکثر کسا در این فکر است که من تو چی کمک میتونیم، اما بیاییم که شروع کنیم به این که ما اینا را چطور کمک میتونیم که اون دیگرها را کمک کنند. So please, if you help, go to their website, donate money. Want your established community. We have people that they make $100 a month. So just be generous and give. Write your name as volunteer. Where do you live? What can you do? Just in case that they have a family in that area, you can go volunteer to take care of them. You can show them how to shop. You can take them for shopping. You can help them learn driving, going to school. You can teach them everything about the cultural differences, the things that they need to know in this country. So be a hand of help in here. So all the necessary information. And if you want something, if you have something really important, email it to shafie@hotmail.com. Then we can send it, screen it. If you find something really needed, then we transfer it to them to see if they can help you. If you have a question, sorry, I was not able to answer your phone. I mean, you can ask your question 5 more minutes. In here, go ahead, call if you do. Otherwise, we 5 minutes and then we can just say goodbye. Jennifer.
Can I add to one other thing? Because we've talked about what we're doing for the families. In America, it's kind of a joke that Italian grandmothers will take care of you like no other. And the one thing I've learned is that my families, the Italian grandmothers have nothing on them. I am so grateful for not just my families in Afghanistan, but my families in the United States, for the love and trust and generosity and kindness. It is a huge to be part of those families and to be seen as family. It's the greatest gift from all of this is I've learned more in 6 months than I probably have in all my years prior about humanity and love and trust and culture and geography. And it's a gift to us as well.
I'm so glad that this sweet experience. We have a lot of good Afghans, 43 years of war, and still we have a lot of good people. We went through so much. 43 years, I mean, I was 17 that this started, and even now I cannot sleep well. So day by day, went even more worse. So it was like pages of book in front of my eyes. چی میگه؟ کلی میگه بسیار افتخار میکنم و خوشحال هستم که اینقدر مرغوب در فامیلای افغان ما است. اینا شما را فامیلی خود میگن. میگه ما ملا داریم که یک مادر کلان ایتالیایی نواسه از هر کسی که باشه عمت کلان میکنه یا عمت داری میکنه که فقط که از خودش باشه. اما میگم ما که میبینم که خانمای افغان در مهربان هستن، فکر میکنم که از او اصطلاحی که مادر کلان ایتالیایی چقدر مهربانه، از او که زنای افغان از وام کدام مهربان تر هستن. و میگم ما در همی 6 ماه با افغانا در کار بودم، ما درک کردم که انسانیت، کمک، شفقت و مهربانی چقدر لذت بخش است و چقدر مزه‌دار است که ما مردم کار کنیم و کمک بکنیم. So I translated almost what you said. So
yeah.
Anything else that you guys want to add?
When we talk about donations, obviously it would be a huge blessing to have people sponsor families, but I also don't want people who have $5 to donate to be discouraged from donating. If you're from Afghanistan, you know what $5 will buy.
Yeah.
You know, I can feed a family of 6 on $6. That's a Starbucks fee. Yeah. And I have friends here that are doing exactly that. They're donating their coffee money. And enough of those, and I can keep feeding my families. I can keep paying their, we can keep doing their medical expenses. It all adds up. It doesn't have a big, wonderful, but every penny is beneficial.
میگه که ضرور نیست که شما هزارها دلار کمک کنید. یگان دفعه یک نفر یک گلاس کافی خود کمک میکنه، $6 برای ما کمک میکنه. $6 در امریکا جای را نمیگیره، اما در افغانستان $6 یک فامیل درست میتونه که نشرمین از که پیسه کم کمک کنین. اگر زیاد کمک میکنین و کمک میکنین این بسیار خوب است. اما شما یک کمک بسیار کم هم میکنین، از او خجالت نکشین، اما کمک بکنین. شما در وبسایتشان در اینجا میتونین که برین و در اونجا فرست پیج اول یک بطن است به نام دونیشن، او را کلیک کنین، بازو شما را قدم به قدم میبره. این همیال شما احتیاط زیادتان میخواین که اینا را به هر رقم از پیدا کنین و میکنین. نام خدا 1000 بطن 1000 جای زنگ میزنین دو نفر پیدا کنین، اما اونمو میکنین، اونمو تو کوشش کنین، یک وطن دیگه وطن دیگه وطن. اگر مشکل داشتین با ما زنگ دین، بر یک کس دیگه که امور کمک کنین. ببینم که یک دو نفر بفهمه که می افغانا تنها نمیگیرن، کمک هم میکنن. ما تشکر میکنم قلبای ما را متفایزین. I thank you so much. Your kind heart, your generosity. I'm an Afghan. I mean, this is 43 years I'm in the front line. I'm fighting for this reason, like you guys. But I don't do as much as you do. I don't do as much as you do for some other people that I don't know. I'm doing for Afghanistan. But then I was born there. I was raised there. I mean, this 43 years I'm fighting for them. But you're not doing this for Americans, for your own people. You're doing for the people that they may not even see in their lifetime.
But they are our people.
They are, and the Afghan people are humans, and we're all the same. We may be a continent apart, but we're all one family that we view it. And this is our duty, all of us as humans, to protect the people that are being oppressed. And this is our duty and our charge. And I think I speak for both of us when we say that this is a gift that we've even been allowed to walk in this path and be entrusted with some of these families. And it is the greatest honor, I think, of our lives to walk this path with them. And so we don't view it like that. These are all of ours too. And I think that's what America represents. And maybe America forgot that, but the American people haven't forgotten.
Thank you. Our body may be a continent away, but our minds and hearts are side by side. We are very close to each other. We feel each other. We sense the human being anywhere if they are in need. I thank you so much. Appreciate. I will be in touch with you guys in the future. If there is anything I can do, be available. Thank you so
much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.